What species are changing as we watch? Not over hundreds of years. Pollution, climate change, and our urban stamp are driving evolution from island crickets to city rats worldwide. This video discusses 10 fascinating species evolving in real time. The stories of venom refining, innovative singing patterns, and small mice in concrete jungles show how quickly, continuously, and unexpectedly evolution occurs. 1. Anna's hummingbirds, feeding on change. Among the urban birds with the quickest rate of evolution is the Anna's hummingbird. Previously mostly located on North America's west coast, their range has significantly increased during the last century. In around 10 generations, from the 1930s to the 1950s, scientists found that their beaks were longer and heavier. For what reason? Human sugar water was used as a feeder. Feeders became a dependable food supply in crowded cities, and birds with bills that could easily reach them were given preference. Fascinatingly, males also grew their bills sharper, perhaps to compete with females at feeders for mates and territory. Researchers monitored this shift across California, using artifacts from museums and even old commercials. It is the epitome of how nature can coexist with people and thrive. 2. Killifish. Toxicity, resistance champions. Along the east coast of the United States, the modest killifish has become an evolutionary superstar in a number of polluted rivers. These little fish have evolved to withstand levels of chemical pollution up to 8,000 times greater than those that would typically kill them. According to a genetic study, within 50 to 60 years, many killifish populations independently develop this resistance. Why industrial runoff that contains dioxins, mercury, and PCBs. Even more intriguing is the fact that all of these populations have comparable genetic alterations, which is evidence of convergent evolution, the process by which several groups respond to a common challenge in a similar manner. These days, killifish are used as a live model to examine how animals may swiftly adapt to harsh environmental conditions. 3. Rattlesnakes. Tailoring venom to diet. Raccoons are changing the laws of venom evolution on remote islands in the Gulf of California. More diverse prey often produce more complicated venom. Here's the catch, though. These snakes are acting in the other way. In fact, their venom got more straightforward in regions with a wider range of prey, specifically designed to operate more effectively on the creatures they kill most often. This challenges the widely held belief that complexity leads to evolutionary advantage, since geographic isolation lessens competition and drives snakes to specialize. These modifications most likely occurred. Evolution is functioning as a fine-tuning tool in this case, making creatures more accurate as well as stronger. 4. Pacific field crickets. Singing to survive. Pacific field crickets were up against a lethal parasitic fly that focuses on the melodies of male crickets in order to deposit its eggs on the Hawaiian Islands. After that, the larvae consume the cricket alive. Many male crickets developed a distinct, or hardly any, singing style in a few generations. Instead of generating loud mating cries, some now make rattling or soft purring noises, which makes it more difficult for the fly to identify them. The tale doesn't stop there. The parasite flies are also changing, increasing the range of their hearing to find the crickets that are more silent. An arms race is still going on, demonstrating that evolution is more about staying up than winning. 5. Tawny owls, climate-driven color shift. In Finland, tawny owls are physically changing color due to climate change. Historically, gray-feathered owls were preferred during cold winters because they hid from predators and fit well with the icy environment. But now that winters are milder and snow cover is less frequent, brown morphs are in a better position. Brown owl populations have been gradually growing over the last half-century, whereas gray owl populations have been declining. Not only seasonal molting, this is a profound genetic alteration. One of the most obvious instances of climate-driven evolution is the way that increasing temperatures are changing the chances of particular features surviving more quickly than many scientists had anticipated. Pink salmon, that is, early spawners on the rise. The migratory and spawning patterns of pink salmon in Alaska are rapidly shifting. Climate change is making river waters warmer, which stresses late migrating salmon and reduces their survival rates. Late spawning individuals have decreased by 20% during the last 40 years or so, according to biologists. In several flows today, early spawning salmon predominate, ensuring that they spawn before the water warms too much. This change is hereditary rather than behavioral. Because they have been more successful over generations, fish with earlier migratory timing have passed that characteristic on. Our shifting environment is directly influencing its development in real time. 7. African cichlids, teeth that evolve fast. Famous for their variety, African cichlids have a special ability. Sometimes within a few generations, they may quickly transition from basic, cone-shaped teeth to more complex, multi-cusped teeth. This skill greatly aids them in adapting to new environments and food sources. Scientists believe that cichlids, due to their adaptability, are among the vertebrate groups experiencing the fastest changes on Earth. Hundreds of species have formed in the Great Lakes of Africa in very short periods of time. Cichlids, in other words, are designed to develop rather than just evolving. 8. Urban rodents, built for city life. Cities are changing not just how people behave, but also how animals behave. Studies of specimens gathered over the last 125 years at Chicago's museums reveal that chipmunks and voles have grown notably bigger bodies, smaller teeth, and flatter heads. New predators such as domestic cats, altered diets rich in human food waste, and urban heat islands are likely responsible for these changes. These rats are essentially undergoing physical adaptation to survive in a concrete environment. Today, urbanization may be one of the most rapid forces influencing evolution, pushing species to either adapt or go extinct at previously unheard-of rates. 9. Hybrid penguin, nature's surprise experiment. Even different species might encounter one another in surprising ways in the wild. Researchers have just discovered a unique hybrid between a male macaroni penguin and a female rockhopper penguin known as the rockaroni. As penguin ranges vary due to climate change, this odd combination implies that isolated colonies may come into contact more often. Hybridization becomes a survival strategy when partners are scarce. An evolutionary wildcard in motion, we may be seeing the beginning of a whole new lineage if these hybrids are able to procreate. 10. Ash trees, fighting back against disease. Ash dieback is a fungal disease that has decimated ash trees in the United Kingdom since 2012. Up to 90% of the trees are at risk. However, young ash seedlings in certain forests are displaying a genetic resilience to the disease. These trees have certain gene variations that were probably absent from previous generations. This resistance indicates the presence of natural selection, but the fight is far from finished. These resistant individuals are now being sought after by conservationists in an effort to rebuild ash forests more quickly than evolution could on its own. Conclusion: from owls in northern woods to hummingbirds at your backyard feeder, evolution is taking place wherever we look, influenced by pollution, climate change, and our urban imprint. Evolution is a live process that is continuously changing the history of life on Earth, as shown by these instances, which go beyond the distant past. What caught you off guard the most in these evolutionary tales? Please share in the comments. If this exploration of nature's adaptability was enjoyable for you, please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who enjoys learning about the marvels of nature. Like, share, and subscribe for more.